Hello world, it's Nelly. Not like that with an E. There you go. Starbucks never spells my name right, ever. So you may have noticed this is not my usual filming location. I'm currently in my sister's bedroom because she's away at college and my room is kind of a mess. I also realized I haven't made a video in a couple of weeks, a month, since I posted the fictional post-it note game. I decided I was gonna go with a really easy video and just do the rainbow book tag. I was actually tagged in this one, and I don't remember who it was, but they only tagged me because they said that they tagged anyone who watched the video. I noticed when I was getting books for this video that I don't actually own books that have very many colors on the spines or covers or anything. Most of my books are black or gray. Putting this together was kind of like pulling teeth. The first book I'm going with for red is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and I know you're probably like, that's not even red, but when we take the dust jacket off, there's a red book, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I just finished this last night, actually. It was recommended to me in part by Jesse the Reader, who now knows me from Twitter and is probably sure that I'm stalking him. So if you're watching this, Jesse, hello. So thanks, Jesse, and also thanks to my friend Willa, who suggested that I read it in the first place. I was like, no, I'm not gonna read that, and then Jesse raved about it, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll read it. So, Jesse and Willa, thank you. This book was really good. It's now my favorite book. For those of you who don't know, it's about this kid named Jacob, and his grandfather tells all these crazy stories, and he's got these, like, crazy pictures to back up the crazy stories. Spoiler alert, his grandfather dies, and Jacob has to go to this island where this home supposedly is, where all the kids from these weird pictures are at, and it's really, really good. What comes next in the rainbow? Orange, I think so. It's one of those colors. I haven't had to know the rainbow since I was like 7 years old, which was 10 years ago. I think it's red, yellow, orange, yellow. I don't know. I actually, like I said, don't have a lot of orange books, so what I'm going with, it's kind of orange, I guess. Sort of. The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan. I don't know how to say his name. That's kind of sort of orange-ish, right? I got this as a birthday present when I turned 15, so that was 2.5 years ago, and I've never read it, but my friend who gave it to me knew that I liked the Percy Jackson series, so she gave me this. I've never read it. It's really thick, and you're probably suspicious I've never read it because the spine's broken. I mean, I started to read it and just never finished, so I'm gonna finish it this year, I promise. Next in the rainbow, I think, is yellow. The book I'm going with for yellow is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling, because the spine is yellow. I knew this was an adult book when I asked for it, and I knew it was going to be really big, but I was not really expecting it this big. You could do some serious damage if you, like, whacked someone in the head with this. I'm kidding, please don't ever use your books as weapons, please. I knew it was an adult book going in, but my 16-year-old mind, because I was 16 when I started reading this, was like, I don't care, I'm a rebel. And then I actually got into it and I was like, oh, it's really adult. I mean, I like it. I've never finished it. You can see my makeshift bookmarks in there about halfway. I stopped on page 280. There's 503 pages, so a little over halfway done. This is another one I vow I'm gonna finish this year. Next color of the rainbow is green, and I'm gonna go with my copy of The Bad Beginning from A Series of Unfortunate Events. Apparently this is a really rare edition because I've never seen another edition with eyes on it, but I think it looks really cool. As you can see, I'm not showing up all that green on my camera, but it's green. See if I change the lighting, if that does anything at all. Yeah, that makes it look bluer. That helped? That still looks blue. It's green. Trust me, it's green. Read this in elementary school. Never finished it, so I finished it recently, like last year. I think I would have enjoyed it more if I had read it when I was like under 10 years old. Kind of looked at it probably too critically, being 16 when I read it. Next color is blue, and I'm gonna go with The History of Love by Nicole Cross. Another book I've never finished. I actually did start reading it though. I got to page 84. So not very far into the book. Here's the 84 I read, and here's the others I haven't. But as you can see, it's blue. This girl named Alma, and she's trying to cure her mother's loneliness. And she finds a book that her mother's been trying to translate, and she wants to find the author. And then there's this guy named Leo who wrote a book 60 years ago because of this woman that he loved and lost. He thinks his book is long gone. I'm pretty sure that Leah wrote the book that Alma's mom's translating, but I haven't figured that out yet. I just kind of get the feeling from the description. Next color of the rainbow is indigo, and to be quite honest, I don't even know what color indigo is. I'm kind of assuming it's somewhere between blue and purple, I think. I don't really know. So I'm gonna go with Anne Frank, Reflections on Her Life and Legacy, which honestly looks more purple in real life, but I guess that's indigo, yes. Edited by Hyman A. Enzer and Sandra Solitaroff Enzer. I don't know if I said their names right. I hope I said them close to correct. This book I've kind of just read excerpts. When I was really little, well, not really little, I was like 10. I had this huge affinity for Anne Frank and the Holocaust. Reading the Diary of Anne Frank actually inspired me to become a writer, because that's what I want to do with my life now, is be a writer. And so I just got a ton of books about Anne Frank, and this was one of them. Just read snippets of it, but it actually came in handy when I had to write a research paper in freshman year, and I was really lazy, and I was like, I'm not gonna do research, I'm just gonna do something I already know. So I used Anne Frank, and this is one of the books I'd used for my Works Cited page, because we had to have at least 2 books. My teacher was a meanie. Lastly, there's Purple, and I'm going with Classic Fairy Tales to Read Aloud, selected by Naomi Lewis, which has a purple spine, as you can see. Used to just love fairy tales, and I know I've read at least a few of them. I obviously know most of the fairy tales that are in here, but I don't think I've ever actually read this book cover to cover. Maybe I'll get around to doing that, who knows. As you can tell, a lot of my book I didn't actually read or finish reading. I think there's only 2 in my stack I actually have read and finished. Just like I said, I have a lot of books that are black. I also have a lot of books on my Kindle. My Kindle doesn't have color on it. How are they gonna have a colorful spine? Or spine at all, actually, if they're on my Kindle. I also just really got like hardcore into reading last year. Like, I've always been a book reader like my entire life. I really got into literature last year in 2013. You know, I haven't read a lot of books because I just got into it. I also borrow a lot of books from the library, or I read them because I have to read them for school. So I don't have all of the books I've ever read. So I would have had some really great titles if I would have, because I know I've read some pretty good orange books, probably. Quick announcements, even though this video is already too long as it is. My mom recently spent like $100 to get me a video editing software because she's the best mom ever. Starting with my next video, I'm gonna have really better editing software than Windows Movie Maker. For Christmas, she also gifted me her old Canon camera, which records videos, and she's gonna get it set up for me in a few weeks. Hopefully, the next time I see you, I'll have better video editing software than Movie Maker and a better camera than my webcam, because this is just not cutting it. So thanks for watching. Stay awesome.